Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Jennifer, and the rest of the BayREN team for allowing me to speak today. And I have the slides up, so I will go ahead and share my screen. Just give me one moment. All right, so this morning I will be giving a lightning overview of the Tech Clean California initiative, really with a key focus on the incentives that we are offering specific in the Bay Area. There will be more opportunities coming up to learn more about tech. So, don't worry about needing to memorize all of this. I will point you in the direction about how to learn more afterwards. So as we all know, heat pumps need to have a higher market share than they have today. And this is really California's way of putting its foot down and starting to drive towards heat pumps. So what is tech? You've heard this word, this program thrown around. So what specifically is it? So Tech Clean California is California's flagship heat pump market transformation initiative for space and water heating. And it is designed to be kind of the central convening force of all these efforts in California and really designed to integrate and complement other existing offerings. The overall goal of tech is to put California on a carbon-free path by 2045, with a specific emphasis on scale, equity, regulatory simplicity, and market transformation. This is solely a residential program and existing buildings, so the tech does not support new construction or commercial installations. There are other programs to support both of those, so this is solely just residential existing buildings. Last key point about it, because this is a kind of a different idea for programs, it is based on, the eligibility is based on gas IOU territories. As long as the customer resides within a territory served by a gas IOU, they are eligible for tech incentives. They do not need to formally be a customer of the gas IOU, just need to reside in a zip code. And so what this means is tech can support customers who may be powering their space or water heating systems with gas such as propane. And we've also received permission to serve customers who may be heating their homes with wood burning stoves. So this really helps expand the number of customers who would be eligible for tech incentives. Before I leave the slide, do want to call out a lot of our key partners. So my firm, Energy Solutions, is the prime implementer for tech, but we have a very large world-class team kind of on our side. You can see the rest of the organizations there at the bottom. Many of them operate also within BayREN territory, so you may have heard their names before. Association for Energy Affordability is leading our multifamily arm. Building Decarbonization Coalition, as you heard Rebecca speak on, is leading our consumer education campaign. Some of our other partners, Recurve Analytics is doing meter-based analysis, Ortiz Group leading our low-income training. VEIC is running our pilots, Ardena Energy running our financing arm, Frontier Energy does a lot of work, partially on contractor management, as well as on some of our pilots. And then we have training organizations, Electrify My Home and National Comfort Institute, and then Trelane as a one-woman consulting firm overseeing the workforce training arm. We do actually have our next stakeholder meeting coming up just next week on March 22nd. So if you would like to sign up and get some more insight into how tech is doing, I have the link here and I'd be happy to put it in the chat afterwards. So tech is a large initiative and it is far more than just incentives. And so I am joined today by a couple other parties who are working on the tech initiative, and they will be digging into some items beyond incentives. So I will just focus today, kind of my brief time here, on the available incentives, and then I will hand it off to Mark Hall and Matt Chioda to talk through some of our pilots, one of which is innovation through Quick Start grants. So that will come from Mark Hall. And then our permitting pilot, which is going on in collaboration with BayREN, Matt will speak to that. All right, so one of the most important pieces from tech are the incentives. As many people have shared before, there is a significant cost difference between gas and heat pump appliances, and tech is coming in with some really large dollar figures to help close that gap and make the difference disappear. So for single family heat pump water heaters, tech is happy to be partnered with BayREN to offer really substantial incentives everywhere in BayREN territory. So the table that you see here, that represents the total combined incentive available anywhere in BayREN territory. So this is if you add up BayREN Home Plus, tech, and any other, the specific local program going on for your specific utility, that would add up to the totals listed here. So we're looking, if you're installing a heat pump water heater over 55 gallons, you can get $2,800 towards the cost of that. And one thing, I missed specifying is these are specifically contractor incentives. So contractors apply for these incentives, but they are to be passed down 100% in full from the contractor to the consumer. So with the heat pump water heaters, I did want to explain a little bit more, kind of show an example of what it's like to stack incentives. Normally incentives cannot be stacked, and that is definitely changing in the energy efficiency world. And so tech is able to stack on top of other programs. And so as you see here, this would be an example for an MCE customer. What is the incentive breakdown? So you see there, BayREN Home Plus pays $1,000. The BayREN Midstream Contractor Program pays $1,000, and then tech would pay another $1,100 on top of that for a under 55-gallon heat pump water heater. But again, the important thing is for that installation, you can get $3,100, which are, again, large dollar figures and really goes a long way to closing the gap. And then for heat pump HVAC incentives, currently tech is just offering one flat rate of $3,000 per heat pump installed. And this supports customers switching from any non-heat pump heating source to a heat pump. And the other exciting piece is the customer does not need to have existing AC to qualify for tech. All that we care about is that the heat pump is replacing an existing non-heat pump system. So again, that could be propane, wood burning, really anything other than a heat pump we can support. And, I mentioned stacking. This can be stacked on top of BayREN Home Plus when the project is eligible under BayREN Home Plus's rule. So you can get up to $4,000 for a qualifying project as it stands today. Tech also has a structure called enhanced incentives, and this is defined as anywhere where tech has an existing partnership. And so we are working on expanding our partnership with Home Plus to cover HVAC incentives as well. And so when that happens, the incentives that you see on the screen here are what will be available. And again, this would be the combined total between tech and Home Plus. So now we are able to support customers really driving towards higher efficiency units. So you put in an 18-SEER unit, you can get $4,800 back. So recognizing the cost between a code minimum product and some of those more premium efficiency products. And then for contractors who want to go a little bit above and beyond, size the unit appropriately, do it if there's any ductwork needed, or they want to test how the system is performing in real life, we have additional incentives that the contractor can pursue on top of just the equipment incentive. So those were really the single family incentives. Do just want to call out briefly that there are multifamily incentives as well. And these are available for larger properties, and there's a more formalized reservation process down. So if you are a property owner looking to change out multiple units, or you're a contractor who serves multifamily facilities, do encourage you to go to the link that I have posted here, and I'll also post in the chat to start your incentive reservation. So if anybody's ready to get started, if you're a consumer looking to switch or a contractor looking to enroll, Switches On will be your best bet for both of you. Again, as Rebecca mentioned, Switches On has a contractor lookup. We have any contractor who is tech eligible will be listed there, right there in the contractor listing. And then if you're a contractor looking to enroll, we have combined the tech enrollment process and the enrollment process onto the Switches On directly into one stream. So if you go to the Switches On and sign up for the contractor listing, you can enroll in tech right then and there. So if anybody has any additional questions, we have a number of email lines for you to reach out and learn more. And again, we have our next stakeholder meeting on the 22nd where we can answer a number of questions. But for general inquiries, we have tech.info. And for contractor-specific inquiries, it should be tech.contractor. And that would be for contractors looking to learn more about tech.